A new wave of speed teams are starting to emerge for Skoll and Hati thanks to Dorachan's latest video with Abyss. Now, he had a big brain idea of using Small Wings King's 6/6 ultimate to bypass damage cap and essentially almost completely negate phase 3 of every floor. Now, obviously it's going to be a little hard to pull off for most people because not a lot of people have a 6/6 Festival King. And the only real alternative is the even faster option of a 6/6 Rimuru, which is going to be even rarer than a 6/6 King. But we are going to use Rimuru because this is going to be faster. Like I mentioned, this is going to probably be the current fastest team. At least from my testings, I've had a lot of sub 10-minute runs, and it's gone pretty smooth. So the team right now, Scotty, Thonar, Rim, Gother. The only interesting thing that we have right now is Gother on an attack set, and that does help him hit damage caps with his Pulverize attack, especially when you have all of the buffs and passives maxed out. He is going to be pretty good, especially thanks to his Relic. So it takes 2 turns to finish off phase 1. You'll come to phase 2. You should have at least Rim and maybe 1 other ult, and you only need 3 attacks plus the Rimuru ult, so we're going to get rid of this debuff. Gother hitting damage cap, 245 right there. Rim single target, 245 again, and then his ultimate will come out. 1 million, just chilling right there. Throw this out. Abyss is going to do its thing, and we're going to transition. We're going to hit phase 3. As you know, this is going to hang out for an extra turn, which is also why it was the key component in the old SA dungeon theme. Now we just need to do some strong AoEs, and you should finish with at least Gother and Scotty ult here, so double AoE, and then throw out what you can on the light dog. It's significantly tankier than the dark dog, so I wouldn't bother hitting the dark dog at all. But Abyss is going to kick in, and that's just going to completely finish off phase 3 for you. So we're going to jump over to phase 2 here, or not phase 2, floor 2. And the nice thing also, through all of my tests, I haven't really needed to check any of these stage passives. Kind of ignore all of them, really. Obviously, resetting for the, better ones are going to be a little more consistent for your runs, but like I said, if you've got a strong enough team, decent enough stats, you really don't need it. So the only thing different here with floor 2 is that the light dog can patience a lot of your Thonar attacks. So if you do single target with Thonar on the first turn, before any of your stacks or passives are applied, I would attack the dark dog since he does have much lower defenses. You can get your lifesteal off that way. You can get the stacks needed for your passive and your relic. You don't have to worry about them getting patienced. And then also what it would have been smarter to do was to hold the Thonar buff cancel, because I think, yeah, he double buffs and then one of them lasts 2 turns, yeah. So we have to hit into that, that's fine. So we're going to attack the dark dog with Thonar there, and then we'll have our stance cancel since they are stancing on the next turn. Now turn 1 for floor 2 usually takes about 3 turns. You'd have some pretty good RNG to get it done in 2, but 3, that works fine. That gives us more time to develop our ults, which once you get Thonar Relic is going to be very simple to do. We already have Rim's ults. Going for Scotty. That looked like our rank 2. That hit pretty hard. Stance is up. We have the cancel. Nice thing about the buffs that they do put down is Rimuru does take them for himself. Does have that little Pierce buff now, so his Pierce attack is going to be a little better, which is why I think he is much stronger than King. His kit overall is a little better, especially since King's kit is sort of debuff focused. Rimuru doesn't really have too many dead cards. You'd think his Infect is, but that still can hit pretty hard once you get the right stacks up. Alright, so we have Gother Relic up. We've got everything we need. We're going to throw out some strong single targets. And we don't need the Thonar ult, but I'll throw it out. just to throw it out there. Why not? I probably wouldn't personally throw that out there on your own runs, because we're kind of playing with a lot of RNG right here. By sacrificing our ults, we do open up to a lot of freezing potential. Since Abyss is a buff, if Rimmer gets frozen, you do lose the Abyss. So you could hold his ults here and just use it on phase 3, just use strong cards on phase 2 to transition. But we got lucky. Sometimes lucky. Floor 2, they also seem to be a little squishier on phase 3, so you can throw out again, double AoEs from Gowther Skadi, and then whatever you have left, I'm pretty sure just works. I threw it out on the Dark Dog just because we do want him dead first in case Abyss doesn't finish them off, but I mean the Light Dog was almost 3/4 HP full still, and he just kind of fell over. So I mean that was phase 2, or floor 2. I keep mixing up floors and phases. I still haven't really looked at the passives. I know they're there. I know we may or may not have decent ones. I know we don't have the best first one. I honestly don't remember what that second one does. But I don't think either of them are the absolute worst to get. I think they're all pretty even on floor 2. So I guess we'll see what we get here on floor 3. Again, same kind of opening style. Focus the small dog with Thonar attacks. And then the Light Dog, you can use everything else. Hold the Skadi buff for the buff removal if you need it. And then just kind of go ham. Do all your attacks, get all your stacks, and it's, I don't know, it's much easier. Now, obviously, not everyone has 6/6 ults for Abyss. You can try 5/6. It's going to be a little trickier. The only other user, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, is Cusack, but his is single target, so it's not going to be anywhere near as effective as the AoE versions. So it's probably not worth. And then maybe Freyr over Skadi could be a potential option, but I don't have a very strong Freyr. I think maybe if you had like a 6/6 Freyr, 5/6 Freyr, you know, with the death damage, bypassing damage caps again, it would be pretty useful. But Skadi heal is pretty clutch. We may not get as low as we do if we didn't have the ignites, but having the heal does make the runs a little more consistent. So I do kind of prefer that. Considering how the best bird team and best dog team both have a heal, I feel like it's only natural that we want to sort of include Skadi for her heal, considering it's also an AoE heal, and it hits pretty hard. Stance cancel did not go down, or we have stance cancel, I should say. Stance is not up. Then our attack finish, again, hidden phase 2 with Rim ults. At least Gowther did not get sealed, so we can hit his relic here. So we will do that. We will Skadi ult just because I don't have really any other strong attacks. I don't think rank 1 pulverize hits damage cap. Yeah, only 290 on floor 3. It's a little higher. It's about 300k. So we'll burn both just to get through. We didn't get frozen. Thonar did. I don't even remember what that passive does. And if Rim isn't frozen, we're chilling. If he gets frozen, we use Thonar to get his ult back, and we just hit him again. So you really don't have to worry about getting frozen that much. Obviously these runs, this run I didn't get frozen at all. But, I mean, you could play it to dodge the freezes anyway, so I don't think it makes that big of a deal. Gold Pulverize, that hits cap for sure. Yeah, a little above 300k. So, they are the tankiest when it comes down to floor 3. So the Dark Dog will die, make sure he dies first. But the Light Dog won't get that insane buff increase that he gets when one of the other dogs die, or when the Dark Dog dies. So we're just going to finish him off with what we kind of have left. We have a pretty nasty clump of cards on the right here. I don't think this will finish him quite yet, but close enough. One more turn. We are hitting 10 minutes, couple pauses, couple times where we really needed to think about what we were doing, but sub 10-minute team for sure, especially when you get decent with it and you kind of understand what cards you need to use, understand the damage caps. So I think this is this might be the new thing, at least for me. I mean, it's 10-minute runs. It's you can't beat it. That is all 3 floors of Skoll and Hati with the new Abyss strat. If you guys like to drop a thumb, maybe so if you're into that, and I'll see you in the next one.